Hey everybody, this is my second video of the year. I'm letting myself down in terms of how many videos I thought I'd have produced at this stage. But I've been hemming and hawing about this one for a while because, well, these are all books that I read last year and I wanted to share some of them with you. Some of them that I think will be really, really useful for you as a person. And also others, if you're in a leadership position or a team lead role, that would also be useful for you to get an insight in how to build that high performing team. There's also a couple of books in there that I would say stay away from no matter how much marketing hype you hear. They are just drivel. But let's start with The Culture Code. So if you're running a team, you need to be reading this book. The Culture Code is absolutely fantastic by Daniel Coyle, probably one of my favorites. It goes into, well, the secrets of highly successful groups, some great examples, some great stories, and some practical tips in there as well you can take away with you. What else we got? We've got Amy Edmondson's The Fearless Organization. I don't know if you've heard anything about Amy, but Amy is the person who's coined that phrase psychological safety. So she talks about how psychological safety works across in different industries and organizations. Some examples she gives them where it's totally not worked, and then other examples where they have turned it around and made it work. It's a good book. I really enjoyed it. We've got Radical Candor. Now, you've probably heard Radical Candor by Kim Scott. I didn't think I'd enjoy this book, but I got a lot of good stuff out of it, actually. It kind of reinforces a lot of what I already think about in terms of how we communicate with people and teams. Some good stuff in here. Again, practical things that you can take away and start using with you straight away. Brené Brown. I've had this book a little while, and I've read 3 of Brené Brown's books last year, and this is by far the best. The Dare to Lead. Great storyteller. I enjoyed it a lot more. In fact, I enjoy her a lot more than I thought I would. She's some really, really good stuff in here. I'd recommend reading it, even for yourself. So if you're a team leader, regardless if you're a team leader or not, just pick it up and have a read. I think you'd enjoy it. The last one in team leader space is Team of Teams. Now, this one starts talking about how bureaucracy has had its moment in time, but it doesn't serve us anymore, especially in the IT age that we're in at the moment, and even the next stage, whatever that might look like. The whole premise being that we can't categorize work anymore. We've got to be open with ideas. We've got to be collaborating. We've got to be working together across teams to make headway in any shape or form. Written by General Stanley McChrystal, and he bases his experiences in the Afghan war, and there's a lot of synergies there with doing business today. I kind of enjoyed that one. I think you'll get a lot out of it too. Okay, couple of books to stay away from. Oh my God, I'm so disappointed. The first one, Robin Sharma's The 5 a.m. Club. Oh, drivel, absolute drivel. You would not believe. Do not buy this book. You could probably summarize it in a page. Robin, what are you doing, man? The Slight Edge falls into this category as well. Again, great marketing. I thought there's going to be some really good stuff in here, but it's just awful. Again, you could take the concepts that he talks about and just put them on one page or less. You know, kudos to him for how many times he manages to get the phrase "the slight edge" into the book, because it seems like every second line. Stay away from it. It's not worth your time. Okay, so if you want to start thinking about how you can perform, or what are some good books out there to help you get the edge, the slight edge, the big edge, whatever you want. First one is Effortless. Really enjoyed this by Greg McKeown. Really, really enjoyed it. It's his second book, actually, and the whole premise behind Effortless is just when you have too many big rocks, when you've got too much going on in your life and you just can't reduce any of them. You've got to do them all. How do you do it? How do you get through it? He's got some great strategies in here, and again, some really useful tips that you can take away and start using straight away. I like this one, Effortless. Okay, The Winner Effect. So those of you who are interested in the brain, the psychology behind it all, I think you're going to absolutely love this. It's the science of success and how to use it. It also talks about, well, its main premise is around the dark side of winning and how that actually changes the brain and turns people into dicks. Or can I say that? Too late. Really, really enjoyed it. How the author sets it up, loads of stories, a lot of intrigue. You know, he builds and builds and builds and builds. I couldn't put this one down. The Winner Effect. The Power of a Positive No. So when I work with clients, a lot of people come to me and they want to learn how to say no. Well, this book outlines it all for you. It's by William Ury. He was also involved in writing Getting to Yes, which is one of the earlier books on negotiation and strategy, negotiation strategies, things like that. In The Power of No, what he does, he talks about identifying your ultimate yes. What are you saying yes to? And then how to strategically say no, and then how to negotiate out of that no so the other person kind of gets what they want, but ultimately you're able to still continue to hold on to your original yes. Not a bad book, easy to read. This one, The Ego is the Enemy, is probably one of those books that you would read every year. There's a lot of wisdom in here. Ryan Holiday's done an amazing job in just trawling through some fantastic thinkers' work and putting it into a nice, concise book. Of Ryan's book, this is probably my favorite and probably one that I'll look to read every year, just to remind me of how I want to be. Really enjoyed it. Okay, so I'm going to skip that one. Now, Your Brain at Work. Again, interesting in terms of if you want to understand what happens with your brain under certain situations in work, why we get distracted, for example. How do you work smarter? How do you retain that focus? So what happens in your brain, and then strategies, things that you can do to get the best out of your brain in certain work situations. It's by David Rock. I think you'd enjoy it. I certainly did as well. Now, the one I just skipped over is probably the ultimate read for me last year, is Why We Sleep. Oh my God, it has absolutely opened my mind to the importance of sleep and what it does for us, what it does for your brain, what it does for your body. I could hardly put this one down, I'll be honest with you. Absolutely loved it, and I protect my sleep super well after reading this book. Hey, listen, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's been useful for you. I read a lot. If there are any book recommendations out there, things that have absolutely blown your mind, I want to know about them. Anything to do with performance, anything to do with leadership, anything to do with high-performing teams. I am up for it. Thanks for listening, folks. I hope you found that useful.